is really, really good, y'all. It's your boy, Justin Craver, aka Young Mummy, the mother of the streets. Y'all know how we what am I doing? Y'all know how we do it, baby. Um, how are you? I hope you are well. I'm tired AF, so I'm gonna try to do this as fast as I can. But I gotta hit you with something. You know what I'm saying? All my faithful viewers, all five of you. All right, so this is why the biblical Jesus narrative or Yeshua narratives are uh, unreliable part deuce. And yes, you'll notice I did change the title. Initially, I was going to just discuss the four canonical gospels, but then figured, you know what, because Christians reference the epistles constantly, Pauline epistles written by Saul of Tarsus, who Christians like calling Paul, or rather they like calling Apostle Paul, despite the fact that he never met Yeshua once. He did allegedly have some episode, likely a psychotic episode, which he construed to be divine. I don't buy that. So we're gonna keep this one. This one's we're gonna keep it short. Simply put, why? Oh, I should also mention when it comes to the epistles, there's out of the 14, there's only seven, right? Uh, in which essentially all scholars agree to be authentic, right? See if my memory serves me correct. What is it? First Corinthians, Second Corinthians, First Thessalonians, Galatians, Romans, and the two P's, Philippians and Philemon or whatever. Okay, the one that no one reads. Uh, and in terms of the remaining seven, there's pretty much a universal consensus among all scholars, secular, religious, alike, that Hebrews is 100% definitely a forgery. All right, and then the other six have been in contention for a long time. So there's seven out of the 14, seven are authentic. The other six, we don't know. Doesn't really matter. There's not, in the six that are disputed, there's not, uh, it's pretty well consistent. His primary purpose was to write these letters to different tribes of people, to talk about this experience he had and try to really promulgate the notion of vicarious redemption, which is which is the essence of Christianity. Okay, salvation vicariously, salvation by uh, due to disgusting pagan blood sacrifice. You know, never, never mind the fact that the Tanakh doesn't call for a Messiah savior. It calls for a Mashiach, a redeemer, a teacher. This whole notion of anyway. Like, I don't have to get into that. Quintessentially pagan, totally inconsistent with Judaic doctrine, inconsistent with the Tanakh. But y'all already know that. Okay, so long and short, why are the epistles unreliable? Because he never met Yeshua once. Uh, the only thing I want to add, I mean, it's as simple as that, frankly. All right, it's like when I do the Gospels, I'll go into more detail because there's a lot of crazy shit. I mean, a lot of blatant fabrication and like especially in Matthew, where the guy, well, just you'll see. Just stay tuned. All right, stay tuned. Um, so the only other thing I was gonna add about usually the Book of Acts, which is which was written by the same pagan Gentile who wrote Luke. That's it's essentially synoptic with the epistles. It's you know in my estimation, Acts is really a propaganda piece. I mean, it's called Acts of the Apostles. It's supposed to focus, but it almost exclusively focuses on Saul of Tarsus, aka Paul, and it makes ludicrous claims, right? I mean, uh, very exaggerated, crazy claims. Book of stuff that he didn't even claim in any of the epistles. It says that he's a Pharisee. Okay, he said that in Philippians. He did say that once in the genuine epistle of Philippians. But forget about that. I mean, and that almost certainly not true. But even more exaggerated, he said he was a disciple of Rabbi Gamliel, who was the most prolific rabbi of the first century. Okay, and it also said he was a member of the Sanhedrin, right? Which was the kind of judicial body and in every city in Judea for a while. In order to be either, in order to be either, you would have to be an incredibly pious and learned Jewish person. You would have to. I mean, you would have to be really, and you'd also have to respect the religion. Uh, this guy Saul, not only did he not understand the religion, he didn't respect it at all, and it's clear by reading his genuine epistles. Just I got notes. You guys are lucky. You know what I'm saying? You guys are real lucky. But like just to lend credibility to that assertion that he didn't, and uh, where is it? Just to show how inept he was in reference to his comprehension of Jewish doctrine, Jewish theology. Shit, where is it? Just give me a sec. I'm so tired. Oh, so when yeah, in where the hell is it? It's in Galatians. Galatians 3:16. He's trying to argue that the Abrahamic covenant actually it actually is all about Yeshua, despite the fact that it has nothing to do with Yeshua at all. And this is how we this is his argument. Galatians 3:16. Now the premises were spoken. I can't remember. Were spoken to Abraham and to his seed. He does not say and to seeds as referring to many, but rather to one, and to your seed that is Christ. So he's arguing that, and for some reason, the guy's supposed to be Jewish, but he's using the Septuagint. So you explain that to me. Um, uh, so the thing is, so this guy, Pharisee extraordinaire, literal disciple of Rabbi Gamliel. Only, in order to be a disciple of Gamliel, you have to be one extremely lucky, and you have to really understand Judaic theology. So this guy's arguing. He's arguing that it's a reference to Yeshua because it says seeds as opposed to seed. I don't know the Hebrew word for seed, but the Hebrew word for seed is is similar to English in the sense that there's no suffix that you can add to denote plurality. Okay, so literally the plural of seed is seed. All right, and he didn't even know that. So was the guy a Pharisee? No, almost certainly not. Was he a disciple of Gamliel? Was he a member of the Sanhedrin? No, almost certainly not. That's ludicrous. Okay, he didn't even have a basic comprehension of Hebrew. Uh, you know, what else? What else? What else? Oh, and another crazy, you know, everyone's familiar with the story, the road to Damascus. Okay, that almost certainly never happened. Okay, uh, it's first of all, he didn't write it in any of his epistles. It's also only in Acts, right? The propaganda piece, Acts, written by the author, the uh, Greek pagan anonymous Gentile who wrote Luke. Um, it, it's only mentioned in Acts that he was going when he was walking from Tarsus, which is modern day Turkey, to Syria or modern day Syria, Damascus, to persecute Christians. That almost certainly never happened. Why would he? Why the hell would he do that? It makes no sense. In the first century, were Christians a threat to Jews in the first century that this guy was alive? The answer is no, not at all. But the Romans were. So if he was going to battle, uh, you know, Roman, polytheist, that would make sense. But walking from fucking Tarsus to Damascus to persecute Christians, that makes no sense. So why the fabrication in Acts? Well, I mean, first of all, these, very exaggerated, claims, being a disciple of Gamaliel, a member of the Sanhedrin, they wanted people to believe that he, was not only Jewish, but he understood it because people would. I mean, this is conjecture, but people would be more inclined to believe his epistles if they thought, oh yeah, this guy was a disciple of Gamaliel, this guy was a member of the Sanhedrin, Pharisee, this and that, right? So again, conjecture, but I'm pretty sure that it is fabricated, and you know, why? Because they would believe his Christology, they would believe his doctrines, namely, the doctrine of vicarious redemption, which he was really promulgating, right? And also other stupid, like ludicrous doctrine that like the Eucharist, right, which he mentions in various epistles. There's no way in hell that is so. The Eucharist is so quintessentially uh, heretical and blasphemous. There's no Jew would ever support cannibalism, and that's what it is. It would never happen, not in a million years. Okay? So why would they fabricate the story about persecuting Christians? Uh, well, again, conjecture, but to make it dramatic, to make it, this guy, hey, look, you must believe him because, hey, this guy hated Christians, and then he had some divine episode, he allegedly had some, uh, on the, so that's why. Did it actually happen? Almost certainly not. Doesn't make any sense. There's no reason that we'd be walking to Damascus to persecute people that weren't a threat at all. And it doesn't hold up to scrutiny. Okay. Uh, and like it not only it's not only that he didn't understand. He didn't have a very good conception of Jewish theology. He didn't respect it. I mean, this is the guy that argues that the law is sinful. It was in. I'm not gonna read the. He, it's in. Is it Roman? I think it's in Romans. There's two parts where he's arguing. Okay, like I'm too lazy to look at my notes, but he argues that, oh, the law, it's actually ironically sinful because you see he claims that when he's uh, pr- uh, you know adhering to the law, when he's doing some mitzvah, uh, it makes him not want to adhere to the law, not want to do the mitzvah, right? In other words, you know, which could be not doing something or doing something. In other words, in other words, he's saying whenever, whenever I'm not murdering people, I feel like murdering people, right? Because I mean, not murdering people is compliance with that mitzvah, with the Mosaic law, right? One of the Ten Commandments. What you know? So I mean, that's his argument. Okay, does anyone buy that? Does anyone buy that? I think we could safely say that's pretty bullshit. Whenever I don't feel like, whenever I'm not murdering people, I feel like murdering. Therefore, there must be something with the law. And if you look all throughout the Torah, it explicitly says that the law is not evil. It also said he said there's one part that where he explicitly or implicitly said that it's impossible to follow the law. It's impossible. That's why you need this disgusting blood sacrifice of vicarious redemption. That's not what the Torah says. It doesn't. And furthermore, God, He doesn't expect you to never make mistakes. Okay, that's a Christian idea. That's quintessential Christian revisionism. Christians will always say, "Oh, the reason you need vicarious redemption because if you make one sin, no, God doesn't expect you to be perfect. Where did they get that idea from? Okay, it's ludicrous. All right. So okay, so anyway, but like I said, the long and short of it, why is the epistles unreliable? Well, the guy never met Yeshua once. He had an episode, some sort of episode. Hey, it might have, those episodes, psychotic episodes, whatever. They it could be very compelling to people. I'm not disputing that, but just because they're very emotional does not make it true. So the guy, and also I don't know much about the history and geography, but my understanding is the first century Tarsus wasn't a very Jew friendly. There wasn't a lot of Jews, and it wasn't a very Jew friendly place. So it makes sense that ideologically, theologically, he was essentially a Greco-Roman pagan, okay? And that's why these doctrines that he's promulgating, like vicarious redemption, the Eucharist, and all this crazy shit, are way more in line with Greco-Roman polytheism than with Judaism. They're totally foreign to Judaism, okay? Uh, so, you know, was he Jewish? Yeah. Was he a Pharisee? Member of the Sanhedrin? Almost no, hell no. And there's no record either. There's no record of anyone involved in the Sanhedrin knowing this dude or anyone affiliated with Gamaliel knowing this dude. Okay. Um, okay. You know what? I'm almost at my max capacity, so I gotta cut. Well, not cut this short. I think that's yeah. I think that's sufficient for now. All right. So thanks. It's your boy Justin, and stay groovy, y'all. Peace.